I'm going to turn it over to you, Jen.
Hi, everyone. Welcome, welcome. My name is Jennifer. I'm here with the team at ImpressArt. I handle their marketing, and I moved into sales recently. So I handle our Michael's account very well right now. Today is day 2 of Explore Jewelry Making, and we're going to step into the art of hand stamping or metal stamping. So if you're new, welcome. If you're an oldie and have been around for a while, welcome back. We've been on a hiatus since probably Q1. But today we're going to travel around the world with you, and we're going to create a souvenir keychain that I have right behind me as my background. I know personally when I travel around the world, I like to grab a souvenir of some sort, whether it's an ornament, a keychain, spices of something that reminds me of the area that I'm visiting. So hand stamping is great because you can always add on trinkets as you travel around the world. So today I have Rita, who's our design director here at ImpressArt. She's going to teach the class to you and share all of her ins and outs and wonderful knowledge that she has of hand stamping. So you're in good hands, and she's going to teach you about the essential tools, the materials that you can stamp on, and answer any questions that you may have. So without further ado, I'm going to hand it over to Rita so she can introduce herself, and then
Hi, guys. Welcome. It's nice to see a lot of you here. I was reading and scrolling through before, so we have a lot of newcomers and a lot of my oldies but my goodies. So welcome. I'm coming to you from my home studio today. And we are going to really just dive into the basics of hand stamping. We're going to go through the sticker guidebook. We're going to work with either aluminum or Alkemé, whatever you have at home. And we're just going to take it step by step and design this key ring together. All right. So I just want to let you guys know that at ImpressArt, on our Facebook page, we have a Facebook Live every Wednesday. Right now we're at 3 o'clock Eastern Standard Time for the summer. That might change come September when the kiddos on the East Coast but go back to school, but we're not sure. But right now you can tune in at 3 Eastern Standard Time. Oh, thanks, Laura. And come and say hello. We do a lot of projects. We go into new product. We go into troubleshooting. And just, we have a lot of fun. So I could talk forever. So I'm going to stop. I'm going to give it back to Jen real quick while I set up, and then we're going to start.
Yes. So while Rita's setting up, I just want to let you know that if you have any questions, feel free to add them to the chat room. I will do my best to answer them. If not, I will call some out to Rita live so she can answer them to everyone in person on video. And if for some reason we don't get to your questions, feel free to reach out to us on Instagram or Facebook at ImpressArt. Our lovely customer service team will be able to answer any question that you inbox us. And if not, they can hand it off to Rita or I to follow up with a response. Let's see. And then also in the chat, I'll also link to the product that we're using that you can find at Michael's for this project. Like Rita said, I'll link the essential tools that she's using, but then also the metals. So we're using aluminum washers, but they're also available, I believe, at Michael's in Alkemé.
Yes.
Anything else, if you want to expand your toolkit and Michael's doesn't have it, you can go to ImpressArt.com, see additional products, tutorials that we have. We just have a wealth of knowledge. We just launched 2 YouTube videos that further explain hand stamping techniques. And yeah, and then also we have our own private Facebook group that you can search. I'll link it into the chat room that you can join our little community to get to know each other, ask questions, kind of bounce inspiration around each other, because we're all about learning from one another, whether it's our neighbors or from people all over the world. So it looks like Rita's ready.
Yeah.
And if she is, we're gonna start stamping. So we have about 50 minutes. The class should take about almost the whole time. But again, if you have any questions, feel free to ask them as we go ahead. So, all right, Rita.
All right. Thank you, Jen. So what you're going to need for today's class is you're going to need your I think it's 3/4 or 3/8. Jen, I think it's 3/8. 3/8. God. Round aluminum. Okay. Your 1 1/4 strip. Your large aluminum or Alkemé washers. Now these come in a mixed pack at Michael's. You could use any size you want. You're gonna need your enamel marker, your ImpressArt hammer with your brass head. I know some of you have the hammer with the stainless head, and that's fine as well. Some sort of Sharpie marker, okay? Your key rings, 3 8mm, 7 or 8mm jump rings, your dapping block, your sticker guidebook. And if you don't have a sticker guidebook with your mixed stickers, you could definitely utilize your bracelet sticker guides. All right. So something to remember when you begin metal stamping is your tools are very important. The 2 things that are really important are your bench block. Okay. It's best to stamp on a stainless steel base. Please, when you're stamping, do not stamp on a glass table because that will just be a disaster. And your hammer is really important, especially one with a brass head, for the simple fact that when you hit your stamp with a stainless hammer head, maybe like a household hammer, one that you have maybe found in the garage, when you hit steel on steel, it sparks. And it will either crack the head of your stamp or you'll get a spark, and you don't want to do that. So the 2 ImpressArt hammers, let me pull the other one out. Okay, we have one that's a steel, but it's a soft steel. Okay, it's made for metal stamping. Do you see that? It's soft. It's very, very soft. And this is our value hammer. It comes in our kit, one of our kits. Okay, and then we have the brass head hammer. If you are going to really dive in and want to start making jewelry to sell or a lot to gift, I do suggest upgrading from the soft steel hammer to the brass head hammer. All right. So your hammer, a really sturdy surface. So when you're stamping at home, maybe for your dining room or kitchen table, you want to make sure to take your block and move it over to maybe above one of the legs of your table, just so you have a really sturdy surface to stamp on. All right. And you won't get a bounce as much. So you'll get a nice and even impression. Now, at Michael's, we do have a sticker guidebook. So it comes with round sticker guides in 3 different sizes. It comes with a variety of circles and straight guides. Okay, now these small straight guides are great for working on pendants. Even if you just want to do one simple name on a bracelet, they're great for that. If you get to the back of the book, you have these clear stickers. I'm just going to pull one out really quick just so you could see. Okay, so these clear stickers are what you can use, right, if you're doing a pattern, a repetitious pattern with one of our mandala packs. All right, so we won't be doing that today, but we are going to utilize the straight sticker guides and our small round sticker guides. Now I just want to, my book is a little beaten up, but when you open up your sticker guidebook, there are directions on 3 pages. And I know I'm not a reader. I don't read. I just grab and go. But definitely we're going to go over these today, but these are great guidelines to follow when you're metal stamping. You have one for your straight guides. You have one for your pattern grid. You also have one for your round circle guide. So what I like to do is, because I keep on ripping things out of here, I like to cut these 3 out and just literally pin them on my cork board that I have next to my workstation, just so they're really, it's a great reference guide to have. All right. So you're also going to need, I believe I said 2 chain nose pliers to open and close your jump rings. So we're going to start with our small rounds. All right. And now in the picture, I had more of like a compass effect. And how I did that was I used, and you could use any design stamps from any font sets that you have for your center. In that picture, I used a center from the Southwest pack that is available at Michael's, okay, or it's available at ImpressArt.com. And I use that for the center. What I'm going to do today is I'm going to use just a round dot. All right. And what I like to do is I like to come in with my Sharpie, and I know I have my holes at my center. Okay. So I just like to come down and eyeball it. You can measure if you'd like. Okay. But I'm putting a dot right in the center there. I'm going to come in. I'm always going to make sure that when I'm stamping with the ImpressArt products, that the ImpressArt is facing me. That's how I know I'm stamping in the right direction. So I'm going to place that right on top of the center dot that I've made and give it a nice hit. Okay. So when you're working with your Alkemé and you're working with your aluminum, try to remember that they're soft strike material. What that means is you don't need to use that much force behind the hammer. Okay. Our hammers are angled to automatically come down, sort of like a dead blow hammer. So you want to not aggressively hit it when you're working with a soft metal, but you want to give it a nice medium hit to your stamp. Okay. You don't want to over hit it, because what's going to happen is your metal is going to spread too much. Okay. You want to get a really nice, clean and crisp impression. So a definitely, a medium hit would be perfect for this. Okay. Now I'm going to go through my sticker guide and my book, and I'm going to pull out the smallest round that I have. And I am going to, let's pull out another one. Here we go. Going to make sure that my center orange lines align with my top hole, and I'm going to place it right in that center. There we go. So I know that I'm even all around. All right. There we go. And what I'm going to do next is I'm going to choose a word, okay, to go around my blank. So I'm using today, I'm going to use our homeroom set. So homeroom is a really nice font set. It is whimsical, but not so whimsical where it's super feminine. It's just a really nice unicase set. It stamps out really nicely. It is very forgiving for newcomers. Okay. So for newbies, not newcomers. So you definitely want to take a look at homeroom at Michael's. Oh, good, Lynn, you picked out homeroom for yours too? Perfect. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to either take a pencil, a pen, or a permanent marker. I know if you've taken a class with me before, you know how I love my erasable pens and my mechanical pencils, but I think I just ran out of juice in this one. Did I? Yes. So I'm just going to use a regular pencil. Jenna, is there any questions? I know I see questions on the bottom of the screen, but
There are. I'm gonna ask them when you start stamping because they're stamping related.
okay.
So I'm gonna let you space out your letters and I'll ask you.
Okay, so I'm gonna start writing on my sticker in my in between my hash marks. Okay, so I'm gonna start with let's see. I'm gonna start with, oh God, I always, you know what, Jen, and that's really funny because I'm always like, oh, remember your words before you do class. So, you know, you could do this. So I'm drawing a blank. Isn't that lovely? Let's see. Okay, so I am going to count it out. Let's see. Let's do heart, 2, travel. And I've written my letters in between my black hash marks and my oranges. And I'm using my, my half disc marks right here on the bottom, so on the sides. So I have the center orange line in the center of my hole, okay? And every other orange line, I'm gonna start with my heart, and then 2, and then travel, okay? So my wording is gonna go from the center orange lines around the bottom of my disc. So I'm gonna pull out, we have a really, really nice mixed heart pack at Michael's, which I absolutely love. So it's a pack of 3 hearts. And I use them quite often in the classes that we have. And I'm gonna go with the one that's a little bit bigger. I'm gonna take my stamp tape and just break off a little piece of it.
Rita, is it
Place it.
possible to zoom in or no?
No, you can't zoom in on this one.
No.
On
On Zoom.
Yeah, Zoom you can. Facebook Live you can. You can on this.
Is it possible just to pick up the block just to show people the sticker guide maybe a little bit closer?
Can you see it?
Yes.
The blurry. Do I need to do it darker? You think?
Maybe a little bit if you have a pen or a marker.
All right, so there we go. Love to travel. All right. So maybe if I do it this way, if I show them on maybe a bigger one, Jen?
That'll work.
There we go. So I just blew up the small sticker. All right, so I have my letters in between my hash marks, okay, around my disc. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull out my heart and give it a nice hit because it's a little bit bigger than my sticker guide. Okay. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take your font, you're going to drag your letter up towards the sticker, and I will show you how to do that. All right. So I'm going to show you from a side view so it's easier because I know you're down. So you're going to place it right underneath the corresponding sticker guide. Okay, so I have my T and my O here. I'm placing it flat and I'm dragging my stamp up. Okay, when you feel that it hits your sticker guide, that's when you're going to press down on your stamp and give it a nice hit. So remember, what you want to do is you always want, if you're a righty, you want to keep your letter set on your left side. okay? Your hammer you want to keep on your dominant side. If you are a lefty, you're going to want to keep your hammer on your left side, your stamp set on your right side, vice versa. You never want to line up with your dominant hand, switch, and then hit. So here I am with my non-dominant hand, and you don't have to move yourself around the block. Definitely turn your block, okay? So I'm going to start with my 2. I'm going to place it down flat, lightly drag that up, give it a nice hit. Then I'm going to move over to my O. And I'm going to keep on stamping. Now, if you're having a problem getting a full impression, I'll show you a little trick.
Yep, that was a question from Margaret.
Okay, Margaret, I just
Any-
want to,
Yep, any tips to make sure the whole impression is stamped? I always seem to be getting a half impression.
no problem. I will show you in a few seconds when I have a bigger, I'm going to take out a scrap piece.
And then Tammy asks if the sticker guides are a one-time use or can you reuse them? And if you can reuse them, does the stickiness get lost after a while?
It does get lost after a while. If it's not completely chewed up, you can reuse it. And I will show you what I mean by chewed up. Let's pull out my L. Okay. So now with the sticker guide, sometimes when you're using your round sticker guides and you're going around the bottom, okay, your sticker will get a little chewed up. Do you see that? How we stamped over it? Because you can stamp over your sticker and get a really nice impression. Okay. Oh, I had to think about this. I'm like, did I spell this wrong? So there is my love to travel. Okay. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to color it in. Now, if you're having a problem getting an impression, we're going to do that next. I'm going to show you some tips and tricks. So what I'm doing now is I'm just taking our enamel marker and I'm running it over my impressions that I stamped. I'm going to put that to the side and let it dry. And we are going to work on getting a full impression. Okay. So I think for those 2 questions, Jen, I think I'll knock them both out with just demonstrating. Okay.
Yeah.
So if you want to reuse your straight sticker guides, okay, you can do that, but it's important that you just really gently bring your stamp down and try not to chew up that sticker guide. So let's do the word love. Up here I am again with the pencil. Sorry, guys. Let's do it like that. All right. So here is love. Again, I'm placing my letters between each hash mark. All right. Now, if you're having a problem getting a full impression, we have something that we call the tilt and tap technique. All right. So again, you're going to make sure that your letter is facing the correct way. You're going to bring it down, drag it down lightly to your sticker guide. Okay. Once you feel it hit that sticker guide lightly, you want to stop, press down. Okay. You're going to give 1 tap. And without moving your stamp too much from the metal, okay, you're going to bring it back, side, front, side, and back. And that makes sure that you get your entire impression in that metal. So let's do that again. I'm going to go with our O, bring it down, lightly drag it down to the corresponding letter on your sticker guide. So you're moving your stamp, putting pressure on it so it's not moving off your metal, but you're circling while you're hitting, okay? So it hits all four corners of that stamp, leaving a really nice impression. Okay, now as for your sticker guides, if you're being careful and you are not going over your sticker guide and nicking them up, yes, you could use it again, providing you use a pencil or an erasable pen. Okay. So let's pull that off. Pull that sticker guide off. I think after like the second, third time that you use that, because of the oils in the metal and the oils in your fingertips, it does lose its stickiness after a while. Okay, so let's put that there. All right, and we'll just color that in so we could see what it looks like. All right, you're going to take a household paper towel, dry, and you're going to blot it and lightly wipe. And there you go.
So we have a question from KR.
Okay.
They're asking, does the head on the hammer change? Oh, hold on. Does the head on the hammer change the amount of pressure that is put on the letter? So I guess the amount of force that you swing with, will that change the impression of the letter?
Yes. So I'm going to show you guys now. Let's take that. So we have Love to Travel here. All right. So that's our first disc for our bracelet, our key ring. All right. So we just stamped Love, and I did it in a medium with a medium hit behind it. Okay. So I'll bring that up. You see that, you could see it. It's nice. It's clean. It's crisp. With a soft metal, and we'll stamp it right underneath. Okay, so you could see the difference. So that was with a medium hit of the hammer. If I hit it harder, you're going to get a very thick, chunky word. Okay, and I will show you what I mean by that. Let's see. So the harder you hit in soft metals, the more you forge into metal, the more it's going to spread. Okay, so your heavier hits will cause your metal to spread, leaving your impressions in the metal much bolder and kind of, I don't want to say just thicker, bolder. Okay, so it kind of distorts the font. All right, and I will clean this off and I will show you the comparison, okay, of over stamping. So you'll see in the first one, you have really nice, clean and crisp lines. Okay, with the second Love right at the bottom, I over stamp that, which means I use a lot of power behind the hammer, okay, to hit it down. You could see that the lines have just gotten thicker. All right, so that's what happens when you overhit or really just put a lot of power behind that stamp. Okay. You want to make sure that your impressions are very thin, clean, and crisp. And that takes practice.
And then I think they were also asking if the soft steel would make a different impression than the brass hammer. And if so, someone was seeing if you could show the difference of the two, if you could stamp them side by side.
So let's do, I'm going to bring out 2 different pieces. All right. And we're going to reuse a sticker. Okay. So they want love in, all right. Let's see. Let's do love with the brass. Now, it's also the way you hit, you know, the force that you use behind it. So I know my tools and I know the force to use behind them. Okay. So here is my brass. All right. And let's do my soft stainless. So they are pretty much the same. Put them both on the same. They are pretty much identical. All right. We suggest using the brass head hammer when you're stamping a lot, when you're doing production work, or you're using design stamps, because it's just a better hammer overall if you're doing a lot of pieces. Okay, but it basically leaves the same impression with the letters. All right, any other questions, Jen?
I just have a comment from Andrea that, as with everything, it sounds like practice makes it easier to do everything more with consistent results.
Yes. So learn your tools. Definitely learn your tools.
Terry was asking if you can hold the love to travel one up close to the camera so we can see it.
Sure. Let me get some of that sticker off there. Gonna use, perfect. Just going to run my buffing block over it just to get some of the stickiness from the sticker off. If you are having a problem with some of the sticker staying on your metal, that is normal. You can take some, I definitely used an A up. Did I use an A upside down? I did. I can't see today. Time for a new prescription. There we go. Love to travel. All right.
There's another quick question that how can you remove excess enamel if you waited too long to remove it?
Okay, this is my favorite one. So
also, if you can ask, how long does your stamp enamel last?
Oh my God. Jen, you want to answer that? Stamp enamel lasts forever. You there?
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah, I don't know if I've ever finished a marker completely. I mean,
Yeah, I don't
we
think I've
always
ever
have them
done
bouncing
either.
around.
Right.
But in the impressions, are there any like chemicals people should stay away from? So the enamel doesn't come out of their jewelry pieces?
Yes, so I would definitely stay away from any kind of alcohol product, antibacterial. Alcohol will pull that ink right out of it. So you definitely want to stay away from that. Definitely want to stay away from that. Any other questions, Jen?
Let's see. We're gonna go over the enamel waiting too long.
Yep.
I believe your name is Aisha. If not, correct me, but she wanted to know, my words are way, way smaller, but the stamps are the same size as yours. Only if you squint, you can see it. Why? I guess if you can let us know what font you're using. Are you using uppercase or lowercase? And sometimes it may be hard to see when they're not filled in with your stamp enamel, but once you use your enamel, it'll make it pop off the metal. But
let's see. I could get that off. I'm like trying to get closer. Changing. Let me change my. Let's see if I could get a better. So you could see it better. Is it better
is it better what?
closer?
Yes. If you can get close, that'll be great. I'll answer, you're using uppercase. What font are you using? Is it homeroom like Rita? Or is it a different style? Because also the style of the font may also depend on how big the letters are.
I'm gonna just let this, let it sit aside, and I will show you how to take that ink off.
Yes, and just to answer Patricia's message, Rita's just using a dry paper towel to wipe the enamel off.
Yes,
So she'll let it sit 3 to 5 minutes, let it dry a little bit in place, and then lightly wipe the excess off from the surface of the blank.
Better? I think that's better.
Oh, that's really good.
Okay, good. Good. Let's get this blank. All right. So we're going to come back to our love to travel. I'm going to let that sit and dry for a little bit. So this is what we call a dapping block. Okay. And in the picture of this project, you'll see that this blank is domed a bit. Okay. So what you're going to do is you're going to concave that disc. You're going to make sure that your impressions are facing up. Okay. You're going to put your punch right in the center. And then you're going to take your hammer and you're going to hit the top of that a few times. Okay. The only thing about this is that I can't pull it back, Jen. So let's see if I could. No, it's not going to work. You see how that goes right in and forms that. So if you pull it out, you'll see it has a really nice dip in the center of it. Okay, and adds a little bit of dimension to your project. All right. So that is a dapping block that's available at michaels.com. I believe it's in the stores. I know it's in the stores by me. I'm not
Yes.
sure if, yeah.
Michaels has our large steel block as well as our dapping kit and crystal setter in stores.
Perfect.
So those are the new products we have.
Okay, so the next that we're going to work on is the strip. All right. So let's just, did we ever get an answer if she's using upper or lowercase?
She said uppercase. I was just waiting for her to respond with the style of font. So let me scroll back in the message and see if I can see.
I'm wondering, Jen, if it is, what do you call it?
I'm thinking like Melody or something.
No, or maybe a sans serif, because they
Sans
have
serif.
5 sans serif uppercase.
That's
Oh. All right. Okay, so we're going to work next with your straight sticker guides. All right, and see that line that runs through the center of that sticker guide? Okay, you're going to make sure that the end of your metal lines up to that blue line, and I'm going to show you exactly what I mean. Okay. And this works really nicely with the strips or the 1/4 inch bracelet blank. See how that blue line? Let's see if you guys could see that. Meets the bottom of my piece of metal. Okay. That's a little tip and a trick that if you line up your sticker guide with the bottom of that metal, you're going to stamp nicely in the center of that block, of that blank. All right, so I'm going to place that down. Okay. Making sure that that blue line is at the edge. Okay, do you see that? That it runs across. And I am going to put a name on there. Okay, so I'm going to start with, let's see, let's do, we'll do O, L, I, V, I, A. Okay, and I want to put a heart at the end of it. Okay, I'll flip it up to show you that I'm putting my letters in between my hash marks. Okay, and then I leave a space and I'm going to use a heart design stamp, 4mm design stamp at the end of that. All right. So I'm going to start off with a really nice, healthy hit. I know some of you have the steelhead hammer, so we'll use the steel now. Okay, there is my O. Again, I'm placing my stamp down lightly, bringing it to the sticker guide. Do you guys see that? Okay. Then I'm going to come in with my eye. Again, making sure that the ImpressArt's facing me. My V. My I. And again, my A. And I'm going to come in with my 4mm heart. Give that a little bit more of a hit. Now with your design stamps, okay, you obviously have a little bit more detail in them. You can use your tilt and tap. And there is my heart. So then I'm going to pull my sticker away, and you see that you've stamped really nicely in the center of that blank. Okay. Now, when you're working with soft metals sometimes and you're hitting stamps into it, you will get a little bubble. See that little bubble on the top? All you have to do is place that on your block, take the back part of your hammer and give it a couple of nice taps. Okay, flip that over, light taps. And what that does is that it hits it up against that seal block, and then it knocks it right back into shape. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's color that in.
Rita, while you're enameling, Terry had a question asking if people tend to be allergic to the metals that we carry.
Allergic. Let's see. So the brass and the copper are raw jeweler's brass and copper. They are going to have, some people are allergic to brass, some people are allergic to copper. The two metals that you can use for people who are allergic to metal, one would be the Alkemé and two would be the aluminum, for the simple fact that they are basically, the aluminum is food grade aluminum, exactly what we use for our kitchen pans. It's food safe, it's hypoallergenic, and it doesn't corrode. The same thing goes for Alkemé. Alkemé also is a tin-based alloy, very similar to pewter. I've never so far have had anyone complain about being allergic to Alkemé. It's also hypoallergenic. All right, so this is what happens when you can't take your ink off your blank. Okay, I know we're bouncing around a little bit, but just want to answer that question. You are going to hit it again with wet enamel. Now, enamel takes off enamel. Okay, but it will not pull it out of the impression. So if you have colored in a piece and you've walked away and it's dried on there and you can't get it off, definitely just take your enamel marker again, color over it and wipe it off, and look how nice that looks. All right. The same thing with your Sharpie marker. If you have Sharpie on your, on any marks on your blank, because I like to use my Sharpie to mark my blanks, and it gets dried on there and you can't get it off, just take your Sharpie marker and give it a little bit of a hit on top and it wipes it off as well, which we have right there. So let's see. So I could show you what I mean. There we go. Now we could see our center dot where we couldn't see it before. No, we can't really. There you go. Now you see the center dot in that circle where we couldn't see it before. So remember, Sharpie takes off dry Sharpie, enamel takes off dry enamel. So then you're going to come back in and dab and lightly wipe. And here we have a tag with Olivia on it. Okay, you're nice and you're spaced out evenly. You're in the center of your blank. And let's add those two together there. Any other questions, Jen?
We have from an iPad saying that some crafters suggest using Sharpie instead of enamel marker. Can you just go over the benefits one more time of one or the other?
So the enamel marker, it's good just to mark your blanks, but
your the Sharpie marker is good to mark your blanks. The problem with the Sharpie is the Sharpie isn't designed to stay inside of your impressions. Okay, so it's gonna pull out with hand sanitizer or anything else like that. With the enamel marker, it coagulates. It's pretty much the word. It forms to the inside of your metal. Okay, it's designed to stay in the impressions. Okay, and form a bond with that metal that Sharpie doesn't do. All right. So that's the difference. So we're going to go back into our sticker guides and we are going to pull out. Let's see if this one's going to work. Let's do this one. We're going to, because this one's a washer, I'm going to bring this to the top. Okay. Actually, let's see if I could use the middle size. I like that better. So we have the small, we have the medium. This is the large, and there's an extra large. No, I don't want to use that one either. Very indecisive today, Jen.
It's Tuesday.
It's Tuesday. That feels like a Friday. So I think it's just 'cause it's so hot. So hot.
And just while we were on the enamel topic, they were asking that to use it on, do we recommend using it on forks and spoons?
So it is not food safe. There is not a marker that is food safe. You know, there are markers out there that say they are food safe, but they're really not, they're not tested properly. So you kind of want to stay away from putting an enamel in your silverware. If you're stamping in silverware and you're using it to eat, eventually your impressions, because you're breaking through the top of the stainless, will get a bit darker. You there?
I'm here, yes. It's a sound answer.
Okay. So again, I'm going to put my sticker guide, but what I'm going to do is with these, I want to go around the bottom. All right. So I want to move my sticker guide up a little bit. If you don't have sticker guides, I'm going to show you how you could go around your base after we are finished with this one. So I know that my daughter's friend, Olivia, just came back from Greece. So we are going to do that. Okay. Tape my blank down. And I'm going to go back to my brass hammer. And we are going to pull out. Let's see, where is my G? Okay. And before with the straight sticker guide, we pulled down. With this, we're going to pull up. So you want to make sure, and now that we're in a better place for you guys to see pulling up, you want to make sure that the ImpressArt's facing you. All right, but I'm going to just tilt my block so you could see it better. So again, I'm going to place it down flat, lightly drag it up. Once I feel that restriction in that sticker guide, I'm going to give it a hit. And there is my G. Flat, drag it up. There is my R. Flat, drag that up. There is my E. And let's find my C. And then my E again. Okay. Now, if you don't have a sticker guide, I'm going to show you a way that you can still stamp around your curve. Let's pull that away. Oh, Lord, today. Okay, there we go. Going to tape that down. And what you're going to do is you are going to follow the edge of your blank with the edge of your stamp. So do you see that right there? You're going to not drag it. You're going to place your letter and make sure that the lip of your stamp meets the edge of your metal. So there is my G. And now to get it lined up evenly, I'm going to make sure, and I'm going to switch hands just to show you. I'm going to place it down so I see a quarter of the last letter stamped. Okay, that's how I know I'm nice and close. Line it up to the bottom. There is my R. Here's my E. My E. My C. And my E. So that is a way for you to stamp if you don't have sticker guides. All right, you're just going to line your stamp up flush with the bottom of your disc. So let's color that in. Now I know some of you have holes in your blank, some of you do not have holes. If your blanks don't have holes and you like them to have holes, you could use a screw down hole punch, and I will show you how to do that. Okay, so here is my grease. I'm going to come in with my Sharpie and I'm just going to mark it as to where I want my hole. Then I'm going to come in with my screw hole down punch. Place that inside, line it up to the dot that I put on my metal. And I am going to tighten my punch. And you do feel it pierce the metal. And then I'm going to unscrew my punch. And there is my hole. Now, what I said about Sharpie takes off Sharpie, I have a little bit of Sharpie left on my punch, so on my blank. So I'm going to hit that with some wet Sharpie marker. And you can see that it comes right off. All right. And then I want to polish it a little bit. So I'm going to take my buffing block and I'm just going to run over my impressions and the metal. And this looks really nice. Don't forget your ends. It polishes and smooths out your line. All right, so now we have grease. We have our center. I think I just saw a texture comment, Jen.
I did not, unless they're chatting you directly.
Um,
Oh no, it just came through on my end. I see it.
Okay.
If you want to put texture on your blank, should you do that first before stamping the name?
No, you want to texture first and then stamp your name. But you want to make sure that the texture that you're using with your name doesn't have the same kind of line. So if you have, you're using straight up and down uppercase, you definitely don't want to use a sprinkle stamp. You want to use something that has a curve to it. What I mean by that is, let's see.
I forgot to give you a warning. I just want to let you know that we're at 3:05.
Oh, no.
I
Really?
know. Yeah.
Really quick. So when you are stamping, it's always good to use a round texture. I'm going to show you as opposed to sprinkle. So that's your ball peen head. And let's pull out. This is a line texture. And what I mean by that is if your lines are too choppy, your letters will get lost in it. So you want to use more of a rounded design. So you see how that's really choppy and you barely see that. But with the ball peen, you have a really nice, clean impression of that heart. So definitely if you are texturing first and then putting letters over it, definitely use the ball peen head. Oh, not that one. The ball peen texture. All right. So we're going to put this together. I'm going to take my jump rings really quick because I know we're late. All right. And you're going to use 2 and you're going to twist it open. Okay. Laterally. You never want to pull your jump rings apart. Okay. Place that right on your jump ring, key ring, and then twist it back together. We're going to do that again. Take your jump ring on either side and laterally twist it. Okay, like that. Put it through. Give it a close. And then, and then for your third, you are going to do the same. And you hear that little click. That's what happens when you close it. And there is your project. And while you're at Michael's strolling for your medals, definitely pick up a tassel or a really pretty bead that you could hang from these. They are great. All right. So I hope that you enjoyed this class. And, Jen and I appreciate it. Definitely tune in to our Facebook Lives. We have a little bit more time and, we go into projects a little bit more. But definitely, if you haven't been to Michael's, check out our new items there. Pick up your homeroom font because that's a great font. And we also have another font that's exclusive to Michael's, which is Austin, one of my favorites. So thank you guys so much. We appreciate it.
Yes. And if you're available tomorrow at 3 p.m., we'll have our Facebook Live. So come hop over.
Thank you, ladies.
Thank you, pretty lady. It was nice to talk to you again. Bye.
Bye-bye.